Dun 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 dun. We did it. We made it. We made it to race day. This is race day. Got a brand new camera, this cool 360 cam. What if I just shot the whole race like this? Just tiny planet race. That would not be great. But we're gonna lock in here. We're gonna go out and take our hot lap to form up into our grid spot. So this does not count. This is just a formation lap. But this is an amazing day, right? This has been the goal for some time, is being able to race motorcycles, and doing it for the first time is huge, right? Huge day. The magnitude of this occurrence is not lost on me. It is awesome. I'm super grateful to even be here. At the same time, it is amazing how much achieving a goal also can feel like, rather than the finish, just the beginning. You know, like there are big things to come, and that I made it to this point, and this is just a jumping off point for whatever is next. So that's exciting too. So the first race is C, meaning 600. A is thousands. C is 600. So C, I believe this is Superstock, meaning stock factory equipment, plus a bunch of other stuff that is allowed, but not just open to whatever mods you want. The second race, I'm pretty sure, is Superbike, which is way less restricted. But you'll notice that there are a ton of people in this race, a bunch of them that we're never going to see because they're way faster than me. We're never going to see them today anyway, but they're up ahead. That is the expert group. I'm in the novice group, that's why I have yellow number plates. Provisional novice, so I have to make it 2 race days without crashing, so as long as I survive the weekend, I can turn in my slips at the end of the weekend and get my full-blown novice license. A little fan club over there providing words of encouragement. I think G yelled to me, have fun, which was important to remind me why I'm out there and not stress myself out, but it was good. It was very positive atmosphere. So the row that I'm on here are my fellow C Superstock heat, just the 3 of us. Up in front there, like I said, is expert, and then some other classes. So here's the start. We had a great start. Ate up a bunch of people. That dude that goes zooming down the left side, that is the other one of the dudes from my class, and the last time that I will see him in this race. Not this dude, the dude that went way down the left there, but we got a really good launch, and then just trying to kind of hold my own and see where it all falls into place as the bikes kind of get shuffled into race order here. Track was still a little bit slippery from all the rain. It was still pretty green by this point on Saturday. By the end of the weekend, it had gotten rubbered in pretty nice, and the track really came in with a decent amount of grip. But there were some spots that were still a little lacking in the grip department at this point. Even with a bunch of mistakes, I managed to kind of hold my own with this guy for, well, up until this point anyway. But he is a much faster rider, so that was really cool. I wish I could have stuck with him a little bit longer and tried to follow his lines, kind of use him as a carrot. But once he squirts around me here, he kind of doesn't stick around very long. You can see our first lap we clicked off there was a 1:32.5. which is already a PR for me. 1:33 was my fastest lap going into this race. So there's a achievement already.
Achievement unlocked.
But I've still got a couple behind me. This white bike is, I believe, an Aprilia RSV4, which is a much larger bike than mine. And then behind him is the Kawasaki 636 that you saw line up in the middle of our row. So he is who I am racing for second place. You see there's some spots here where I am slower, where they're able to kind of close that gap, and also some spots on track where I'm a little quicker and I'm able to stretch my legs a little bit and add that gap back between us. So right now I'm still trying to just figure out my race pace. You see lap 2 here, we shaved a little bit off again, down to a 131, 190. Here he comes in, kind of tries to show me a wheel a little bit and dive in there, but I could hear him behind me. I was able to hold him off for a little while still. Every so often I get a good drive out of the corner and create that gap, and I'd notice I couldn't hear him again, and then we'd come into a tight spot, a tight corner, and I could hear the rumble coming up behind me. It's very motivating. It's hard not to like overdrive into corners trying to get away, but that did not get me where I wanted to be. I still did it a bunch of times, but made it a lot harder to get a good exit when you come in too hot and end up too hard on the brakes, and kind of backs the whole corner up. And you go wide, and it's not good. I'd say that was probably the biggest takeaway from this weekend, was trying too hard to go fast, and paid for it. Granted, I can't hold a candle to this dude on the straights because he has 1,000. I don't, but this other 600 still closed in, pretty handily, which is due to a bad drive out of 10B coming down the straight, which is because I had to overslow 10A, and that's, like I said, my biggest takeaway from this weekend as far as what to do next time was stop trying to go fast and rushing corner entries. I believe the speed will come as far as corner speed and being able to maintain a higher overall corner speed, but when you try to go too fast into the corner and the technique isn't there to carry the corner speed that I want, then you end up grabbing a handful of brake and then overslowing and pushing too deep into the corner, and you ruin your exit. And so now we've just worked really hard to go slow. So we need to work less hard to go fast. But I've got a plan for how to get there. So we'll see during the next track weekend if I can actually implement that plan and make it happen. But I was able to stick with this RSV pretty tight through the whole lap, and 636 is not falling off anywhere either. So you see we're still clicking off 131s pretty consistently. I did notice through the back S's, through the chicane, turns 5, 6, 7, that I was able to close in on him a little bit, and I kind of try to play with that on this lap to see if I'm going to get around him, sort of plotting my spot, and I'm ready if he makes a mistake and slips off to kind of jump back in front of him, especially like right here, starting to close in a little bit, but trying to pick my spot if he doesn't make any mistakes where I might be able to get around him. So you see I close in pretty good here, especially by the end of the S's. I'm right tight in there. I got him! Other than the start, that was my first pass during a race. I passed him. I didn't crash or wipe him out, or I don't know, all the things you worry about. Like, what's it gonna be like? Smooth, easy. Then I gapped him like I knew what I was doing. Don't worry, he'll get it back. Or will he? Maybe he won't. Another 131. Fun fact, I think this is actually a father-son team behind me. I think Dad is on that RSV4 Racing Senior Superbike, I think is his class. And then son on that 636. He raced a lot of races this weekend. I watched him during a couple others where he was putting down 128s, 127s, I think, on rare occasion. So I was excited to have him with me this weekend and get some good battles in with him. More on that in future videos. Never was able to work out that 10A, 10B switchback before the straight there. There's the white flag, which I was very happy to see, to have those two guys still behind me. So I got one lap to go. Still right there in the 131s all race. It's funny, I couldn't be happier with my progress to this point for all the riding and everything, and not just lap times, but the fundamentals and body position and all that stuff. But I still can't help myself when I go back and watch the video to pick apart all the stuff that I can improve on, which is good. I'm glad that I'm not watching this like, man, I don't know where I can get any better. That leaves a ton of room for improvement, which means the progress will continue, which is motivating and exciting. Also frustrating, like, why can't you do it perfect? Obviously, that's rhetorical. You don't have to tell me why it's not perfect. But if you have any advice, I'm open to it. I'm just very aware that it's not perfect. As you can see, that RSV behind me has fallen off, but the 636 is closing in hot coming down the back stretch here, and there's the checkered flag. So we did it. We took second. We managed to hold him off. We took second in our first race ever, and I couldn't be more stoked for it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.